Good evening, everyone. Welcome back again with another live show. It is PD's Football live show tonight on the channel. Again, we've got quite a few things to talk about. Tonight, of course, we'll talk about definitely going into the Fulham game away on Saturday down at Craven Cottage. As well, I think we'll talk about England again because it'd be great to get some of the fans' thoughts on Gareth Southgate and the way and how shockingly England are just playing at the moment, where it's just absolutely terrible just to watch. Indeed, it's just, yeah. And a lot of us said in the live chat, particularly on our piece on about Southgate, where it was myself, had Tony in who's actually waiting in the background as well, John and Chippers as well. So, and you know what happens when we have another show as well. So, yes, there you are. Right, I'll just rattle through a couple of comments before we get a couple of guys in. Northwest Mag's in the house. Sifter Mag, hope you well. There's Tony there. Oh, it's a link. How's RAP? How's it going? All right, thanks, Joe, and yourself. Hey, Tony. Right, again, guys, if you are going to enjoy tonight's show, of course, please do hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, of course, if you're new to the channel. Or if you're enjoying the content, you're not yet subscribed, feel free to donate as well. We do have Super Chat available as well. And if you'd like to become a member of the channel as well, feel free to do so as well. So, and also, if you want to come on tonight's show, link is pinned in the live comments as well. Right then, so we'll get three guys in who are waiting in the background. We have got... Bear with me one moment. I'm okay. Southgate needs to go. Go to Joe Fairplay. We have got Tony.
Yeah. All right, Pete.
Gordon.
Yeah.
And Mr. Sharky.
Hey.
Sharky.
How you all doing?
All right,
Yeah, good, mate.
Good. Septimax says, new channel. We will follow the John and Tony Sinclair. According to Septimag. It was all. Well, let's kick off. How are we going to do against Fulham going in the game on Saturday? Start with you, Tony.
Well, it's going to be a difficult game because, to be honest with you, Fulham have surprised me this season.
Yep, that was me.
Although they weren't in my prediction at the start of the season to go down, because my three to go down at the start of the season was Bournemouth, Everton, and Leeds. But, you know, Fulham surprised me, and Marco Silva is actually managed to stay in the job longer as well, because normally he's sacked, a few months into a job. So Fulham certainly look a different team this season. Even Mitrovic has hit the ground running in the Premier League. Now, there is talk that he could be out Saturday. There is thought, I have seen a picture where he was coming off the pitch and he's got a bandage on his foot.
Ooh.
But they think he was carrying this injury in the first Serbian game that he played. And then obviously he played against Norway and he scored as well. So if he is out on Saturday, then that's a huge boost for us, because he'd want to get one over us.
He would.
But as I say, it'll be a tough game. But the good thing with Fulham is because they attack, they leave open spaces at the back for us to exploit. And if we've got... Obviously, we're going to have Bruno fit by the looks of things.
Yep.
Wilson's back by the looks of it, and possibly ASM. So if them three are back, it's a shame Isak's out. But, but if them three are back, we've got a chance of winning that game.
Why not?
Now, I fancy us to win 2-1.
As well, I've got as well, yep.
And maybe Eddie may put a couple of strikers on the bench from the under-23s, maybe Isaac Westendorf or Dylan Stevenson, you know,
yeah, you were saying.
because they've both done well in the under-23, so why not give the lads a go, you know? It gives them a bit of experience in the first team as well. But yeah, it'll be a tough game down. I mean, I know the last time we went down there, I think we won 4-0, but that was when they were relegated. But
yeah, it was actually,
this is a totally different circumstances now.
4-0 in Rafa's last season, and 2-0 under Bruce in the 2020-21 season final game as well.
Yeah, so it's totally a different team now under Marco Silva.
Yeah.
But you know, as long as we don't get beat, that's the main thing. Even if we pick up a point, I know we've had a lot of draws this season, but you know, like I keep saying to people, at the end of the day, even if we pick up a point, it's still a positive. It's not a negative. We haven't lost, and that's what people need to realise.
Yeah, I just want to try and see if we can start turning these draws into wins.
Well, we need to, and I mean, the thing is, we should have done that against Bournemouth by rights, you know.
We were terrible against Bournemouth.
It was an awful game, you know. But let's hope we put on a performance against Fulham. And let's see. It depends what the team is that Eddie puts out on Saturday. We'll no doubt we'll find out at 2 p.m. on Saturday, and we'll go from there. But I'll certainly be watching it on a stream somewhere.
Hi, Steve. Yeah, Mason, good evening. Hope you're well.
I'm good.
I miss. How's your COVID going? All right.
Bloody hell.
Oh, did you catch COVID, Mason?
Aye, I did.
Oh, damn it.
I'm all good now.
Oh, that's good to hear, man. That's good. That's the main thing. Shoggy, we'll go to this game on Saturday.
To be honest, I think we're going to struggle because I think we've been very... I think we've been underwhelming, if I'm honest. I don't think we've been that good. After all the expectation of the new season, I'm quite disappointed. I think it goes back to the transfer window. We didn't really... I think we should have done a lot more. We should have addressed the squad depth, and we're paying for it. And it's what I harped on about for the window. And look, at the end of the day, we're over-reliant on St. Maximin. When he's out, we struggle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wilson's the same. We haven't addressed it. I mean, Isak didn't get us wrong. Good player. We paid a lot of money for him, but could have also spent money elsewhere, you know, amongst the squad. Fulham, I'm not surprised at their start of the season. I rate Marco Silva. I think he's very underrated. People could talk about his sackings and that, but I think he's never really been given a chance at the clubs he's been at, if I'm being brutally honest. I think Fulham play some good football under him. I think they've got a good team. And I never had them a go down. I think I had them around 12th place. But given the start of the season, what's not to say that they can't get in the top 10? But, you know, Saturday, it's going to be a tough game, isn't it? I mean, I'm not going down there saying that we're going to get a win. I think we could probably go get a draw at least. I mean, we're the draw specialists anyway. So probably make it 6 draws within the season. But just got to wait and see how it pans out and what the team looks like. But if we can pick up a point, great. But we'll have to start eventually turn those draws, as you say, into wins. But again, it's what we do at home, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's it, yeah. I mean, Gordon, do you think we can go on this game on Saturday expecting a positive result?
I think I'll be happy with a point. But a win would be good. But either way, I'll be happy with a win. But a draw would be even better. Especially with Fulham start of the season.
I mean, I've been impressed with Fulham this season, as I mentioned.
Especially Vitro.
Obviously, it's whether or not they can keep it up, though. Obviously, these promoted sides, they always have a good start. But like what Hull did back in the 2008 season, 2008-9, they obviously crumbled in the second half of the season. And obviously, we went down as a result. But it's whether they can keep it up.
Yeah. Mason, if Wilson, Bruno, and ASM are fit, do you put them in straight away?
Yes. Obviously, the way I'm planning, start all 3. If we're like 2-3-0 off, I'll probably take like 1 or 2 off for the last 15 minutes. Because the management will probably know that the game is then buried by then. If it's like 2-0, 3-0, and Fulham's not going to get back in the game. So, but if it's like 0-0 or with level, keep them on until like we score, and then if it's like 5 minutes before it finishes, take them off, just in case anything happens, like injury
This is
wise.
what I mean. It goes back to squad depth, doesn't it? I mean, we shouldn't be talking about like, oh, well, if this player goes off or if someone gets injured, oh, well, we're going to struggle here, struggle there. Like, this shouldn't even be in the question. You know what I mean? With the investment that we've got, we should have addressed it. Now, it goes back to Eddie. Like, should he have said more? Do you know what I mean? I need squad depth because that's been our problem for a long time and we're paying for it. You know what I mean? It's like we've got this expectation of finishing in the top 10, which we're very capable of doing if we keep us, squad together. But at this moment in time where we deserve to be where we deserve to be, obviously we're 10th, but it'd be mid-table, unless we sort it out.
I mean, Tony, we haven't seen other players step up the mark. Fraser's been poor. I mean, Murphy's been dreadful this season.
Don't even get me started on Murphy. Don't even get me started on him because you know my views of him anyway, Pete. But Fraser to me is like another Michael Owen. Does well for his country, but couldn't give a shit about his club. Me and John done a show last week, and as we were on backstage at the end of it, I had the Scotland game on, and I went, "Oh, hang on a minute, John. Oh, Fraser's just set up Lyndon Dykes for the second goal. Oh, and he's just set him up for the third as well from corners. Why can't you do the?" And I said to John, "Why can't you do these corners at Newcastle? It's just absolutely But going back to what Sharky was saying, we should have strengthened in depth more. I mean, the likes of Diaby, the likes of Maddison, should we have pushed more? Should we have just said, look,
100%.
Right, okay, I'll tell you what, there's the money, take it or leave it, and we should have pushed and got them. Had we got them two in, we would have seen a difference to squad. I mean, against Palace, like I said to you, Pete, after the Palace game at St James's, when you'd done an interview with me and that, and I said to you, at the end of the day, if we had Maddison in that team against Palace, we would have won that game. We were crying out for a Maddison in that game. The same with Bournemouth. We've lacked that creativity in the midfield. That's the problem. And the thing is, and we all dare say it, but we all missing Shelby at the moment as well for his Hollywood balls.
I think we are. Yep.
And Isaac would have been licking his lips at some of them balls.
Should have been, absolutely. I mean, do you think Wilson goes in the start as well?
Gotta be careful, though, haven't you? Gotta be careful.
Do you think he goes in Tony? Do you think he goes in Tony if he's fit?
Well, we haven't got a striker, so we got to play him hamper from the start. That's the problem. Chris Wood's out. I mean, I know you can't really call him a striker, but Chris Wood is out. He's out with broken ribs. You've got Isak out for a few weeks now. Wilson's back to fitness. He's got to play because who else are you going to really throw up front? You can't put Miggy up there, and no disrespect to Miggy, but he's not a right winger. But as I've had, on a previous show when me and John were on, the previous show that we did, I highlighted the stats with Miggy and the stats from 2016 right up until we had Rafa as manager. And when Rafa played him, he played on the left-hand side and he's devastating from the left-hand side. But then when we had Cabbage Head for a couple of years, he done nothing, just had him here, there and everywhere on the pitch. So really his tactics were crap anyway. And Eddie Howe is persistent since he's came into the club of playing him on the right. Now, I don't know what stats Eddie's stats guys look at or anything, but I think if they look back at the MLS from when he started in Paraguay in the MLS, they would see that he plays on the left. Even for Rafa, he played on the left, and he was a lot better on the left. And
that's his position.
I know Eddie likes his inverted wingers, but I just wish you could swap them over with St. Maxim because St. Maxim can play on the right with Trippier. That's not a problem. But I would love to see Almiron just put on the left and let's see what he can do and see if he can whip any crosses in. But if Eddie Howe doesn't do it, we're never going to know, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, he just can't work his right foot, can he?
No, not at all. He's a left-footed player,
Bournemouth would have been ideal for him, though.
if he had both feet, then it wouldn't have been so bad. But he's left-footed.
It's like you go back to the Bournemouth game as well, though, the chances, if he actually had a right foot, Bournemouth would have struggled. Though. The amount of goals that they concede as well, do you know what I mean? If you put some balls into Miggy, I have no doubt he scores.
Yeah, could have well.
Would be very underwhelming in my last couple of home games like Palace and Bournemouth. I mean, something needs to change for the Brentford game as well, because
we were kind of robbed against Palace not having a VAR decision that a goal should have counted. But Bournemouth, I thought we were very underperforming.
You see, I look back at the two games as a whole. We just weren't good enough though. We just went on my game. Do you know what I mean? It didn't reflect like last season when we had that good run towards the end. Do you know what I mean? If it was a sort of what we were doing at the back end of last season, you bury Crystal Palace by half time. It's the same with Bournemouth. And this is the thing. Obviously, it's a new era for one now. It's a sort of a fresh season for Eddie Howe. Is the pressure getting to the players? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, the fan expectation. I said it all goes down to squad depth as well, and obviously tactics and that. It is frustrating at the minute. You know what I mean? Even going into Fulham, it's like a lot of well, what's going to happen down at Craven Cottage? You know, Fulham having a good start. Are we going to crumble? Do you know what I mean? Like a deck of cards. It's difficult to say, given these injuries.
I mean, when you think who we've brought in the summer, and you look at when we played that last home game against Arsenal last season, we totally annihilated Arsenal. We totally annihilated them. We showed them up on that park. And, okay, we've added a few players since then. But, I mean, if you take the Bournemouth game, and for instance, if you took out Isak and put Wilson in there, and obviously Botman was on the bench, it's virtually the same team that played against Arsenal.
Yep.
And we were a totally different team that night. So if we can do that to Arsenal, why can't we do it to teams like Bournemouth? And that's no disrespect to Bournemouth, but
I know
when Bournemouth are putting up a roadblock to try and stop us from getting through their defence, we should be cleverer than them, and we should have the gale in the nous to get through them and bury them and score the goals. But we just had nothing at all. We just had nothing at all.
Other players just aren't stepping up to the mark, are they?
No.
That's what I was saying, though. Just watching the Bournemouth game back, it was just frustrating because there was no plan B to actually want to do something against them. You know what I mean? It was just hope for the best and hope that we'll, grab a couple of goals and beat them. But you could have played another 90 minutes and it would have ended the 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I mean, Botman for me goes back in there on Saturday.
He's cancelled his international duties, hasn't he, to focus on Newcastle. So Eddie's. To be fair, I would probably play Botman and Byrne together. Shaw was a little bit off in the last game, I would say.
You could do, but you go back to that Bournemouth game and look how Byrne left the space for Billing to score that goal.
I think with the defence, it's try and test it, though, isn't it? You've got to try and find the right formula. That's the thing is we've got a great defence, and that's where we're blessed in a way. We haven't got the injuries in defence. It's mainly the midfield up to the attack, but that's probably what I would experiment, but obviously it's up to Eddie as to what he does.
That's it.
I mean, I did say when me and John did our preview show for the Bournemouth game, and we had a Bournemouth fan on, and I think the Bournemouth fan was quite surprised what I came out with. But I did say, if you give Philip Billing any space, he's going to hurt us and score. And what happened? He got the space and he scored. And it just, Dan Byrne, bless him. I mean, yes, he you could say that he was at fault for that. But my argument is, why wasn't Botman starting? Because if you've got a settled back four that's playing week in, week out, and it doesn't matter who the opposition is, doesn't matter if you're playing, say, Chesterfield or you're playing Liverpool. At the end of the day, you keep the same back four, regardless. If it's not broken, don't fix it. And some people are saying, well, Botman had a niggle. Well, if he had a niggle, why was he on the bench in the first place? So, to me, that's, I think that was just rumours that he had a niggle, but it should have been Botman from the start. And
to me, he stopped spilling.
And that's no disrespect against Dan Byrne whatsoever,
So I think he's been fantastic, Dan Byrne.
Well. He has. But when Botman's played, Botman's come into the team and he's absolutely shone. And it's not just the fact he's good at defence, but his ball playing skills are excellent. His ball passing, You know, even when he gets in the opposition box, he knows how to cross a ball. But he's got to start this Saturday.
Yeah, he has to. He has to. Good evening, Lewis.
Good evening. Sorry I'm a bit late.
Well, don't worry. How are you doing?
Fine. Like, obviously, we've got to win. We've got to win on Saturday.
I mean, it's going to be a difficult game, but are you hopeful?
Yes, in a way.
You want to be. That's the thing now.
Yeah.
Can I come back in on the Billing goal?
Yeah, go on then.
I've just seen it. Why does Shaw? I've just seen it. Why does Shaw not come like forward a bit, and then
That's
try
what
and get
I've
the
read as
ball?
well.
Try and get the ball off him. Why?
That's what I've read as well, and that's why I think he needs to be dropped. I played Dan Burn and what's called Botman on Saturday, but then that's just me. Eddie Howe's going to try and test the whole squad. Of course he is, but
People
I
say
think-
it was that. Sorry, Shaw.
no go on.
People saying it was Dan Burn. Basically, it was both Fabian Shaw and Dan Burn. For the way, like, obviously, if people are watching on the telly, one of the angles, it shows you that Shaw stopped and then just let Billing go through. Same with Burn, but it wasn't. But people shouldn't say it's Dan Burn. It's both. It's not just him. It's both.
It could be both, yeah.
It's a reaction though, like, you know what I mean? How reactionary we are to like the opposition. You know what I mean? I've noticed the difference like this season under Eddie Howe, the last season. Like last season, we'll just clear our lines and get rid of it. But this season, we're a little bit lackadaisical. Like we're a little bit behind, if you know what I mean, when it comes to the opposition. It's like Bournemouth, for example, that Billing one should have been cleared. I mean, even like Palace, they were getting the odd chances. Do you know what I mean? It's have we been sussed out now with this 4-3-3? Do you know what I mean? We're starting to get. I don't know. It's obviously work in progress, but we'll find out against Fulham. And by the way, I want to talk about like Nick Pope as well. Obviously, I hope his confidence hasn't been dashed with what's happened on England duty as well.
With Nick Pope, I don't think he was helped when he had crap in front of him.
No, this is it. I'm hoping it hasn't dented his confidence for Fulham.
Hopefully it wouldn't be. I think Eddie Howe would have been working on him with training like the rest of the squad as well.
The thing is, I mean, you're right there, Sharky. Are we being found out with the, because I said this last week as well, that the 4-3-3, maybe we are being found out because teams just thinking, oh, well, we're playing Newcastle, they're going to play 4-3-3. We know how to strangle them, and stop them playing. Maybe once, say, Isak's back, maybe play Wilson Isak in a 4-4-2 and just change it about. Because, if you're going to keep playing 4-3-3, teams are just you're going to be so predictable to every other team that you're playing against, and they're going to combat that 4-3-3 system. So I think maybe just needs to change it up, or even during a match change it up, the formations. You've just got to be that little bit more cute than what the opposition are. You could see with Bournemouth, they were there for a draw, because their manager Gary O'Neill, ex-Smoggy by the way, but yeah, when he, you could see he's playing to try and keep his job because he wants to get that full-time job there. But because they're going through a takeover at the moment, obviously there's no decision on a manager, so obviously he's going to continue. But yeah, and that'll be interesting. Let's see how quick their takeover goes through.
See, that was my point though with the 4-3-3. Like if we're playing 4-3-3 constantly, then as said, sides like Bournemouth will just sit in because they know we're going to play counter-attacking football. Let's just frustrate them as long as we can. And the longer it stays 0-0 or the longer it's 1-1, the fans at St James's will just get restless. They're starting the other. And that's why I say, like, against Fulham, why don't we change it up a little bit? I know Fulham is going to go attacking, but maybe Eddie could surprise a few. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he's played two. Maybe he's try something different that's going to surprise the opposition. Do you know what I mean? And you never know. It might just get to a result, so to speak. I mean, I do admire the 4-3-3. I do, and I think it's a breath of fresh air. They've just played five at the back constantly and hoping for the best. But I feel like now is a time maybe to make a couple of tactical changes, change up the formation. And as you said there, Tony, even if you change it halfway through the game, depending on how we're doing, then it might help a few matters. Because I think at the minute, fans are starting to get a little bit restless. I mean, for where I sit as well, fans are groaning a little bit because even as like you play against Palace, we're frustrating. Even though we had the VAR against, it's Crystal Palace, you know what I mean? Then you're playing Bournemouth as well, who, as you said, they're parking up for a draw, and it's like Bournemouth, you know, they're getting beaten 9-0 off Liverpool, and they're getting hammered off Arsenal and Man City, and we should be beating Bournemouth. But hopefully Eddie's looked at the system, and maybe he might change a few things over this international break, but we'll find out Saturday.
Yeah. Sefton says it's Wilson 80's hat-trick. That would be great. Hi, PD and all. This is I like coffee. Have faith, man. 3 points. It'd be great. Darren England has been confirmed as the referee for Newcastle game against Fulham. Yeah. But guess who's on VAR?
Mike Dean.
Oh, fucking hate us.
But to be fair, though, can we be surprised to whoever's on the VAR? It doesn't matter really, because they're all biased towards Newcastle in any case.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you know, like the other day on Saturday, I was watching the Sidemen game on YouTube. And Mark Clattenburg was the referee. He was doing banter with the two teams, obviously, because it's a charity match and that. He was messing around with the players and that. But obviously we know we can't have referees from up here refereeing Newcastle game. But that means surely.
Because I would love Michael Oliver, but he can't. He's a
I know,
Newcastle fan.
But that's the thing. Like, let's say if he did say let's say for example, he said he was not a Newcastle fan, but he was. Could technically referee Newcastle games?
Well, they're gonna find out who you support on there. That's the thing. So
not allowed.
Yeah. But
And also, he won't be. He's not at referee Sunderland games either, because he could be biased towards them.
He could be, yeah.
So they're not allowed to referee within the region.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. You know, the FA Cup game last year, we're going to have a referee from Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Nah, it'd be someone more southern.
But this is the thing. They said there was confirmed to have a referee from Yorkshire, and then they said no, they can't have them in the same region. But it's not the northeast; it's in Yorkshire. It's not even the northeast.
Northeast and Yorkshire, like if they're like from like Teesside or whatever the class like borough these days. I mean. It goes like the derby. They call it a derby, don't know. Who cares?
I do consider the derby in that, but
I don't.
Have
you seen who's back on VAR?
Who?
Lee Mason. What game?
He's doing Southampton and Everton. And Everton.
Yeah, but he'll be under scrutiny though now.
He will be.
Yeah.
It says, lads, it's still early days. Remember, we have had years of neglect, and I used to follow the team up and down the country in the late 70s and 80s without any success. Wow. I mean, we've still got average players at this football club, haven't we?
That's the thing.
In stupid contracts. Murphy, his contract doesn't run out till 2027.
Jesus
that
Christ.
Absolutely frightens the shite.
Yeah, but then didn't they give Darlow like a 5-year deal? And we were like, well, actually, why is Darlow signed a 5-year deal now that we've got like Dubravka and look what's happened to him? You know what I mean? It's a bit of a what can I swear?
Go on then.
It's a bit of a shit show, really, when it comes to like contracts and who they're giving them to and who's getting these wages and what.
It's what past regime giving them in idiot contracts, silly wages.
It's what the owners have to clear up, but they can't do it overnight. It's something that they're going to have to gradually phase out.
I mean, we've had to pay 2 contracts off, Gale and Fernandez.
It's like we've got Jeff Hendrick. I know he was a free, but still look at his wages.
I mean, he's still got another year left.
To be honest, I would have kept Fernandez, me. I would generally.
He's not even started for Elche. He's not even had a game for them yet. He's been sat on the bench. So that just shows you what they think of him. But I mean, Kieran Clark, he's on loan at Sheffield United for this season, and then he's out of contract at the end of this season. So at least we don't have to have him back at the club. He's left now, hasn't he, basically? So
yeah.
Dummett's going to be our contract at the end of the season as well. Another one that needs out.
I don't think he should have been given a new contract at the start of the season. I'm sorry, as much as I like, he's been a great player, a great servant, but it's time for him to move on.
Richie's another one, end of contract at the end of the season as well.
Should have got Richie out in the summer. I thought I've been trying to get him gone. Don't get us wrong, like Fernandez and like Richie.
I won't be surprised if he goes to Bournemouth. I mean, not Bournemouth.
They're all good servants, but like sometimes it's just time to move them on. You know what I mean? And get them to play for other clubs. Like it's not helping us, is it? Really? It's just setting them back.
I mean, when you go back to the Bournemouth game when we brought Murphy on, really for Murphy, it should have been either you could have, instead of putting Murphy on the right wing when you took Almiron off, we could have either put Mankiw on at the right wing or put Richie on for the last 20 minutes, because Richie can still cross the ball. At least he can do a better job than what Murphy can do, you know. And the same on the left wing. When we took Fraser off, you could have stuck Jamal Lewis on the left and give him a go.
Yeah, you could have.
Kind of feel sorry for that lad, actually. He's never really had a look at it, has he, like, since we signed him?
I mean, I would like Lewis should be given more of an opportunity this season as well.
He gets a lot of rave reviews, so that's the thing. Like, we don't give him a chance. There's a few players that we don't give a chance to, but again, I'm not the manager. You know, it's up to Eddie what he does. But yeah, I mean, Eddie talks up that he's a good player, but if that's a just play, like, give him a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Lewis did well in the cup game against Tranmere as well when he came on.
Well, Pete, if you go back to last season when Eddie Howe hadn't long took over, and when we went to Anfield in the December, up until I think he come in from the Norwich game, Lewis, he was actually putting in some good performances, and when he pulled up in that Liverpool game after 12 minutes and went off with a hamstring, you know, we all sort of felt for him because he'd been playing so well. But since he's come back from that, he's never had a look in, and it's just one of those mysteries, because he's not a bad player overnight. And where I work, I've got 2 Norwich fans that work there, and they've both said Jamal Lewis is an excellent left back. But Norwich believe the best left back that they ever got rid of is the one who plays for Nottingham Forest, Harry Toffolo. They said he's an even better left back than Lewis, because not only is he good at defending, but he can assist and score goals as well. But yeah, they can't even understand why we're not playing Lewis, and they said they would have quite happy had him back at the club.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be given more of an opportunity, particularly if Target picks up an injury. I mean, Byrne, he hasn't got pace to be left back, has he?
No.
I mean, I think Byrne's got a couple. I think Byrne's got a couple of years. I think he'll go as well.
Could well do.
But I think the same with Jamal Lewis. In the end, he'll be thinking, do you know what? If I'm not getting games, I'm good enough to play first team football elsewhere. He'll go in the January. Wouldn't surprise us.
Well, I was talking Nice wanting him back in the summer before the transfer window ended, Jamal Lewis. And I was kind of thinking at the time, well, if we get rid of Lewis, let's do a deal with Nice and say, right, I'll tell you what, part exchange Lewis for Amin Giri, because I think he's an excellent player. But just didn't materialise.
No, we didn't, did we?
He's the next France number 9, by the way, Amin Giri. He's the next Benzema, apparently.
Yep.
Yeah.
He could well be as well, definitely. Anderson, does he go in if ASM doesn't fit, is not fit? To me, he does.
Yeah. They're gonna play him on the left.
Yeah, absolutely.
From the start.
It wouldn't surprise me if they start him and then they maybe bring St. Maximin on the second half. Because that's a danger, you know, if you start them from the start in a pressurised situation where it's Fulham are going to go for it, it could make his injury worse, so to speak. Obviously, we don't know how bad the injury is. He's coming back, isn't he? But we don't know if he's fully 100%. Do you know what I mean?
I'll put Maxim on the bench.
I think you've got to be careful, like how we feel these players, you know, and bringing them back.
That's why I'll put Maxi on the bench and start to play.
Well, I was gutted at against Bournemouth when Anderson, you know, because when obviously St. Maximin was out, I was saying, oh well, if Anderson, you know, let's get Anderson in from the start. And I was shouting for him to be in from the start. And then when we found out he was injured, it was like, oh shit, you know, it's Ryan Fraser instead, you know, but because that would have been the perfect game for Anderson to start against Bournemouth, you know. And I hear some people saying, oh, don't chuck him in from the start. You're going to do the lad's confidence no good. Well, hang on a minute.
No.
The lad's a good player. And if you look at Man City, they threw Foden in as a youngster. So why can't we? You know what I mean? What's the difference? You know, the thing is, if you're good enough, you're old enough. And look at Arsenal. They threw a 15-year-old on the pitch as well.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
he's just been given a new contract as well, so there's no better time to actually give him that confidence to go and start against Fulham. Do you know what I mean? The lad is good enough, as you said. If he's good enough, play him. There's no point in just saying, "Oh, he's a golden asset. We'll just keep him on the bench and we'll use him when we feel like it." But he's never going to gain the experience he's going to get in the Premier League by not playing. Do you know what I mean? The Premier League is a great league to play in, especially if you're young, so you fry off it.
As you were saying, like the 15-year-old for Arsenal that was broken in Northern Ireland. They brought a 13-year-old on in the cup game.
Oh, hey.
Yeah,
you think-
13. He was 13. He was playing in the cup, and I can't remember where. If I can find it, I'll send it to you, Peter. I'll take a screenshot and show you later on.
What was it I was going to say there? I'll come back to it, Pete. I'm sure I'll find what I was going to say.
Hold on, I'll just roll through some more comments. It's about time, evening, gents. Well, you cannot bull watching the Premier League. You'll just be punished. We used to do that a lot.
We did it against Bournemouth.
Richie will end up back room with Howe. He could well do, actually.
Problem is, we've already got enough stuff.
Well, yeah.
They say you can't have too many, can you? So just keep adding them on us, I guess.
White Trust says Lewis had a stinker against Greece, but a good game against Kosovo. He's hit or miss, but maybe some game time might bring him on. I would get him on. I mean, even if it's on the left wing. You were saying that one time, Tony, play him on the left wing.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, against Bournemouth, we could have easily brought him on there, and just give him a shot at left wing, just when we brought Fraser off. Can't remember who came on for Fraser now, but was that long ago?
Was it Murphy?
Yeah, Murphy. Yeah, it was Murphy. That's right. Yeah. So
call him that way you like to call him.
So why didn't Lewis go ahead of Murphy? Give these lads a go. I mean, or if you don't want to put Murphy at left wing, stick him at left back and stick Target up there. But I think it's just it's the same with Trippier. If you didn't want to put Manquillo on right wing, switch him with Trippier, put Trippier on the right wing and stick Manquillo at right back. But we know Manquillo can cross the ball. I mean, we saw that run at Man United at Old Trafford when he set up the equaliser. He's got it in his locker. Another player that's he doesn't really get much for looking. I mean, he can't get past Trippier, which
well, he can't. I think the only way he comes in now is if Trippier picks up an injury.
Absolutely. And yeah, what I was going to say was that's what I've just thought back on. Matty Longstaff, who's obviously on loan at Colchester United, doesn't seem to be having a great time down there at the moment. I mean, they've had their manager sacked and everything. But I can't see him ever having a career now at Newcastle. I think he's finished now at Newcastle. I think his contract's up at the end of the season as well, if I remember.
It is, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to ask you around the board, but do you think, I personally think we should let him move on. I don't know what the rest of you think, but I think we should let him go.
Yes, I mean, if he's been told he hasn't got I think if he got told to train with the under-23s one time, even though he is just over 20, and if he's been told he hasn't got a future, then he's no point in him staying here, is there? Which is a shame, because I thought there could have been something in him, but it just wasn't meant to be.
It goes down to the fact you can't keep everyone.
No.
Can I say something?
Yep.
If he can't cut out in League Two, I'm surprised Mike Williamson might not want him gated. Because I think just see how he is, but if he does like has the best moment of his career and tore up the National League, he'll be back up again, but you never know, he might not cut it out again. But I think his best National League. That's just my opinion.
You see, I think you could do it higher personally, but it really surprised me actually. Funny enough, that he went from Mansfield to then go and play for Colchester after any thought, you know what? Okay, they were lucky at Wembley. The best team got through, which was Port Vale, but you could still definitely do it in League One at the very least. Matty Longstaff's quality. I mean, look at the wages that he's on anyway. I mean, okay, he scored that good goal against Man United, but there is a player in there. I'm not saying like for Newcastle now, but there is definitely something there. You know what I mean? Like a bottom end championship club or a middle class League One side could thrive off his quality. You know, they really could.
I believe it could. Yeah, why not? I mean,
Peter,
Mhm.
I found that article, you know, that player in Ireland.
All right, yeah. All right, yeah. I'll take a look at the moment.
I already have it loaded up on my page to show you.
All right,
Obviously, it's like obviously Sean's won the interest of Eddie. Eddie's kept a hold of Sean, so
he
he's
frustrates
there.
me, Sean Longstaff.
But I'm saying Eddie obviously sees something in him. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, he probably would have been out the door in the summer.
Could have well. Got to agree with Tony. Sink or swim. Same with Botman. There you go.
Yeah.
It was Coleraine FC, the Irish Leagues, Grim Like. I haven't even watched the Irish Leagues, I've got to admit. I'm not going to go yet, but why did Howe play two of our best? Bruno Trippier at Tranmere. I was amazed he played them and getting injured afterwards. I think Trippier played because Kraft got a serious injury.
He did, yes. He came on for Kraft, and the reason he brought Bruno on, he wanted to get him warmed up for penalties because he thought was going to penalties anyhow. That's why Bruno came on. Or else he wouldn't, had we been winning that game, he wouldn't have brought Bruno on at all. Mm-hmm. So that's what Eddie Howe said after the game. That's why Bruno came on. It was for the penalties, you know. So you can understand that, you know, because you don't want to go out the cup to any side. And if you can get your players on that are good for penalties, then you bring them on, don't you? And I've just looked at Matty's stats this season for Colchester. Matty's 22 now. And he's played 4 games, started all 4, and no goals and 2 yellow cards. And his ratings have been against Hartlepool was 6.8. He got a 7 against Walsall, 6.7 against Scribsby, and a 7 against Rochdale. So he's not really cutting it, is he? But I think, to be honest with you, with Matty Longstaff, when he came in and he scored that cracking goal against Man United, he scored again at Old Trafford against Man United. He seemed to favour Man United for scoring for some reason. But I just think, did Cabbage Head just not, you know, he just didn't develop him even more. And to be honest, which players did develop under him? Because, you know, he didn't give anybody any enthusiasm that.
No, he didn't.
You know, I mean, his training sessions were just throw a ball in the middle of the pitch and see how a kick about, you know. While I stand on the sidelines with me Greg sausage roll on me doner kebab.
and Steve Bruce probably did the same thing.
Oh, with me hands in me pockets, with me
Well,
pants.
you know.
I'll tell you what, the worst one was when.
The worst one was when
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I was going to say, though, I'm taking the pee here, by the way, but it's like, we can't have go to Steve Bruce, though, because, you know, the guy's a nice family man. He's a nice man. You know, he doesn't deserve the treatment. And yet at West Brom, he's getting a hell of a lot of stick. But you don't hear any of the media, like Puke Edwards and all them, coming out saying, Bruce is a nice man. Don't give him a hard time. Give him a chance. None of them are saying that. It's because they were aiming at us because of the Saudis. That's why.
No, you said annoy me about Steve Bruce, though. We used to watch him in the dugout. But he used to puff his cheeks out like, oh, it's everyone else's fault but mine. Oh, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of that. I'm like, oh, hey.
His days are going to be. I think his days are going to be numbered at West
Brom. By the way,
very, very soon.
He deserves to stick off the West Brom fans because at the end of the day, it's not about money. Well, he went there for the money, didn't he? But not only that, he's taken a side that really comfortably should be in the automatic spots. They're looking more like relegation to League One at this rate.
The 20th on the 21st?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter how big a club you are, you can't be relegated to League One. Look what's happening like Wolves, Southampton,
Sunderland,
Man City.
Man City. You know, it does. Portsmouth went through the league, so it does happen. You know what I mean? Hull.
Yep. What's the panel's thoughts on the World Cup and the season being suspended? I think we'll talk that on the second half of the show because we are going to talk more.
West Brom at 21st, just above the relegation.
Fourth bottom.
That's just terrible, innit?
The
No wonder
relegation
why.
spots occupied by Coventry, Huddersfield, and Middlesbrough.
Steve Bruce's response to that? Well, you know.
Well, at least we're
And-
not bottom.
And no wonder West Brom fans are getting restless now. We did warn yous. We did warn yous. We did warn yous, but
Can you imagine if we draw West Brom in the cup though and he comes up to St James's? Imagine the reception he'll get.
on the outer cup though. On the outer
No, I'm on about the FA Cup if we draw West Brom.
That's if he's still there by the time, because they've got to wait till January before we get drawn into that.
The FA Cup, I love. It's like, you know, the first game we have in the FA Cup was against Sunderland at St James. That would be like one hell of a game.
Well,
We'll probably get beat anyway, wouldn't we?
No,
You never won't, but
can't get beat off them, lot.
I know if you do, we'd be like,
seen
oh
enough
my
of us
god.
getting beaten off them.
I know.
Hey, good hey.
Peter, I'm going to head off, mate.
No problem, Shaggy. Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. All the best to you. Good
See you
night.
later, mate.
Take it easy, man.
Shaggy.
All the best to you.
Yep.
Now, we don't want any more FA Cup third round defeats, do we?
No.
I mean, that was terrible.
Especially against Sunderland.
Oh, God. I mean,
no, not happening.
I mean, go back to Shelby. We said we're really missing him in terms of his creativity. Look how the way Eddie Howe got him back to what he did playing. And we are missing that badly, aren't we?
He's the quarterback, and he's passing range and all that.
The good thing is we thought it was going to be till January we will not see him back, but he's making good progress, which is good. So hopefully it's very, very soon till he's back in the side. When he's back, I don't think he'll start straight away.
no.
I think he'll come off the bench at one point.
It won't rush him back, that's for sure.
I mean, we'll see him back before the World Cup. That's the thing. You know, because I mean, he's been running on the grass for the last couple of weeks now, and he's, you know, so is there a chance he might have a game before the World Cup? We don't know, you know.
I watched the Sky Sports.
Personally, I would say, if I was Eddie, I would say no, don't rush him back. Let him stay out until after the World Cup's finished, and then bring him back in the team, you know, because you're going to have that month out from the World Cup, and it would just be a one look that he comes back, say, a game or two before the World Cup, and then he gets injured, and then he's out for, say, 8 weeks or something, you know. So I would say no, just keep him on the training field, and then just say to him after the World Cup, when, you know, once things start, once the season starts again in December, then you can come back into the team. I think that would be the more sensible thing, you know.
Possibly. I mean, I don't think Shelby's had many serious injuries at Newcastle, has he?
No, not that I know of, Johnny. He's had a few injuries, but nothing major. Nothing like that.
He did have one last season at the beginning, which kept him out until the first game, which kept him out until Spurs under the new ownership. But other than that, I've never known him to have a big serious injury on him.
No, I haven't either. No, so let's hope that stays the case. But I think we definitely need to definitely in January we need to go back and get Maddison and Diaby up. Like I say, the two things that gets us Diaby and Maddison. On Diaby, that he has a crap World Cup or he doesn't start many games for France and he just comes on and does a cameo role. So clubs will think, all right, we're not that interested and the price doesn't go up too much. Because if he comes on and has a barnstorming World Cup, the price is just going to go boom and it's going to be out of range.
Yeah.
On Maddison, the only thing if I could personally send Maddison a DM, I would say to him, please, James, do not sign a new contract. Wait till January. Because
I mean, I don't think he
we
will.
can go. No, because we can go in January. He's only got 18 months left, and we can get him for about. I reckon we could get him for 35 million because there is no way he will be worth 50 million pound in January. Because there's no way Leicester will get that sort of money, and also the 17 million pound that we want Tielemans for as well. That would be an absolute steal.
Yep.
For this week, because obviously his contract runs out in 18 months. I think we're probably going to get him for if we let's say 35, I think we probably could get for like 32 or 30 million as well. Like you never know, because they'd be if they're still fighting for relegation to stay up, they want that money to try and get a player in who's younger who has the ability to help them get the mess.
Yeah, absolutely. Where I'm up to with my comments.
They say Tottenham's got 13 games in 6 weeks.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the Baggy fans. It hurts having that cabbage in charge. I know they're sick of him on.
He gets sacked soon. He's got to get sacked.
Bruce for the England job. God, I hope
Oh,
not.
God,
I don't know.
no.
Oh,
Hang
no.
on, be careful. You may get into trouble because he's a family man, you know.
And can't pronounce that name. Sorry, but hope you're keeping well.
Just looking at James Maddison's stats this season already, I mean, you know, he's played 6 games, started 6, 3 goals and 1 assist. So his goals are every 1 and 2. You know, we're crying out for him. And to be honest, the rumours are he wanted to come here in the summer, but it was Leicester who was stopping him coming.
Yeah.
Monday is going to be an interesting game because we've got the El Sacchio game on Monday night. Leicester v Forest.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
I've tipped Forest to win that one, but I tell you what, if Leicester lose that, I think Rodgers is history.
He could well be, couldn't he?
It'd be one of those it'd be one of those weird things. Premier League, Leicester win the Premier League, and like 4 years later they get relegated. It's like,
yeah,
what the hell's actually gone on?
I mean, I think a draw would be bad enough as well for Leicester. I think that would be a poor result as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the way Leicester are at the moment, they had this sort of start back in 1983 and they were relegated.
Mm-hmm.
So they could go down now this season. How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah. Truth, good evening. Hope you're well. Will Big Joe make it into the Brazil's World Cup squad?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think he will yet. I don't think he will just yet at the moment.
Maybe the next World
problem
Cup.
is there's too many ahead of him, Pete. That's the problem.
There is.
The likes of Casemiro's and Fred, who I don't really rate as a midfielder, but apparently for Brazil he's they reckon he's absolutely brilliant for Brazil. But I've never seen him play well.
No.
But yeah, you've got all these midfielders ahead of Joe Linton, and I can't see him making this World Cup squad. Maybe he might make a Brazilian squad after the World Cup, but I can't see him getting in this one. And I'm sure the Brazil manager's got his squad that he wants there. But saying that, unless one of these midfielders pick up an injury which keeps him at the World Cup, then maybe J7 may get the chance, but who knows, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that's only depending one of these midfielders get injured.
His third number won't be number 7 for Brazil if he gets picked for Brazil.
I don't think you would care what number he was, to be fair. I don't think he'd be bothered if he was 23 because, you know...
or 25?
Squad place. Yeah, because 26-man squad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't remember which number you won again when he played for Hoffenheim.
11, I think. I think he was.
It could be, yeah. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think, but I may be wrong there, Pete, as well.
Yeah. Sefton says, any news on the supposed training ground built and academy announcement? There's something going on, I've heard, which I read about, but
we have to with these articles. We have to think of with pinch of salt because we don't know if it's true or not.
Well, we'll just wait and see. But
yeah,
I'm glad there's something going on because that training ground needs a complete refurbishment.
It's
Mm-hmm.
Pete, come back to when you said what was his number at Hoffenheim. He was number 34, Joe Linton.
Ah, there you are. Yes, that's it.
Dwight Gale's old number at Newcastle.
Yeah, like my number is 99.
Yeah. Yes, there you are. Well, we've got about just over 5 minutes until we get to you know where. Which
Lewis is getting excited already.
Like we should make a jingle for it, shouldn't we? Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good shout. Yeah, you need to get a theme for that, Peter, like a little tune and jingle.
And I'm gonna have to try and work on something for that. I really,
a
really
little
need
intro
to.
for that.
I mean, I think when Steve was doing his like when he was doing his shows with Holly at the time, and someone would tag him would tag around a pic of a food pic, and then
the
he would
rate my plate.
Yeah, that's it. The rate my plate.
That jingle, that was funny. That jingle, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that would be great. Something like that. But
Yeah.
Copyright-free music jingles.
yeah, that's it. But yeah, that was funny. That I'll have to work on something like that as well, definitely. So there. But
I'll have a look for you. I'll have a look for you, by the way, later on, and I'll send you one of the songs over to you.
No problem. I mean, do you think Eddie's going to stick with the same midfield? So Bruno, Joe Willock.
Joe, the last couple of games would have been rubbish.
It's hard to say because we don't know if some of our players are going to be fit or not.
I reckon. I mean, if Shelby was fit, I would say drop Joe Willock. But do you know what? Willock is a good. But the thing is, I feel like Willock's playing with a handbrake on.
Yes, a bit.
I don't think he's more of that free number 10 role, isn't he? And
I think he's a number 10.
When you see that half season when he was with us on loan, he was on fire.
Yep.
And then he come back. He didn't have the best start. Because he had COVID and he wasn't feeling 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, Steve Bruce sent him and moved him out into the middle of nowhere, Northumberland. So he was feeling a bit down, and he wasn't, because he was nowhere near Newcastle. He couldn't go out on the nightlife or anything like that. He had to sit at home in the middle of nowhere in Northumberland until Eddie Howe come in, worked out what was wrong, moved him more closer to the city centre. He's now a happier person. I mean, a young lad at that age, and you've come up from London and you're stuck in the middle of nowhere in Northumberland, anybody would be upset because I'm not saying because Northumberland's a lovely place, but it's the fact is you're stuck out, you're isolated on your own, and you can't go up. You probably haven't even got a pub within a couple of miles of you. So I can see where he's coming from on that. But if we can get Willock back to his best again, and I believe we could, then we'll have a terrific player in our hands and a future England international. But we've got to get him back to that season again.
Eddie's the man to do it.
Yep. Which I believe he can do as well. So I can't see why not. Internets keep breaking up. Thanks for having us on, Pierre. That's no problem, Mason. Workers ongoing to bring hydrotherapy and plunge pools, improved changing rooms, new doctor and physio rooms, an updated presentation room, a modern players' lounge, and an extended dining area.
Wow.
Sounds good.
Great lads. Gordon Lewis said hi from Liverpool. Up at Adoni says, even folks, hope you're well as well. Well, just not long till we get to you nowhere now. So, you are.
Hey, calm down, Peter.
just like pretty much. Hang on.
Well, later when we get to that bit. So, there you are.
But a minute ago, you know what?
I mean, can I just? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Quickly share something here, Pete.
Go ahead.
And this is how far our training ground is coming on now on the updates that we've seen so far. So
it's going to be better than where it used to be.
There we go. There's the training ground. And now it's looking good, isn't it?
Brilliant. Looks better than what it used to be like.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
looks a lot
the owners.
better, doesn't it?
That's the owners taking care of that training ground, bringing up to date.
Completely,
Yeah.
like, yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, at least we're getting pools put in there now, not those stupid paddling pools as well.
And wheelie
Those
bins.
The wheelie bins.
Yeah, really good. Like I say,
That's-
it looks better.
It does look a
But
lot more
that does look better. And I mean, this is only temporary because, I mean, don't forget, we're going to build a multi-million-pound training ground on the outskirts of the city. I believe it's going to be Parklands. That's what I've heard, near the race course, because there's a lot of
Yeah.
land there, and it belongs obviously to the Rubens, doesn't it? So,
Yeah.
Yep.
you know,
Well, that's going to be
so
good.
it makes sense.
See what was going to be like in the future when these owners finish. These owners have got massive plans for the club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like for example, like let's say if we do have to build, like obviously the owners are building a brand new training ground. Let's say they build a, let's say because obviously some teams in like Liverpool and that have the academy, like when they play in the Champions League and that. Therefore, the youth league, whatever, it's bloody cold and that.
That training ground looks nice, so I just can't get
But
it.
could, for example, if if they have to build a brand new stadium, could we build like something like that, like a training ground, where we could put temporary seats up and still technically play? Because technically we won't be playing away from home. We will be still playing away, but we won't be playing away. We'll be playing away at home. If that makes sense.
I mean, you look at this picture here, and I mean, you know, even the building with Newcastle United Football Club on, that's even had a revamp as well, and that looks even better than what it was. And you know, you look at that and you think, right, okay, the owners have come in, they've spent a bit of money. Look what the improvements have done to the training ground.
Yep.
But the former owner,
look at the gym.
Mike Ashley, just didn't want to do any of that, did he? And you know, he just wanted money in his pocket, and it was going to rack and ruin. And the thing is, when you're a player and you're coming to the club and you're seeing the training ground that the Premier League said was a level 3 training ground, which meant it's the worst of training grounds.
Mm-hmm.
As a player, you must be walking in there thinking, what the hell is this? This can't be a training ground, surely. But now players coming into that must think, oh, wow, actually, what a nice training facility, you know? Yep. At least they've got one now. And even though this will be temporary until they move to a new training facility elsewhere. But I just thought I would just show that, Pete, anyway.
No problem. Yeah, absolutely. Really
good. I better recognize it. I better recognize that now. It looks.
That picture's courtesy of the Shields Gazette.
Yeah, I love I like how he says, I love an extended dining room for all the lovely food PDs go to shows. It's a Saturday. It's a must win for us. There's a chant of discontented voices about Eddie recently. This is maybe the game to silence things a bit. Well, wow, impressive! Yeah, it's a computer image, but I think that's what it'll definitely look like by the looks of it. If that's what they're going to do, they're going to do with it. Right, let's get on to you know what then. How many we got tonight?
Bring it on.
1, 2, 3. All right, we have got only 10 the night, unfortunately.
That's okay, because
it's just where I get them, Rob. It's just when they upload them.
Yeah.
Well spotted, Sherlock. Right then, this is the first pick we've got for tonight, and here we are. This is this one.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Chicken curry and chips served at Coles Hill Town for £4.50.
It looks like chicken chips.
That's what I was just going to say. It looks like vomit. That doesn't look like somebody's brought that dinner back up.
It looks like dog diarrhea.
Oh, that's definitely no for me. Sorry, no.
Tony, yes or no? Or is that a no from you as well?
No, from me.
Doesn't look like that.
Didn't look appetizing, did it?
Right.
Oh, fuck.
This is the next one. We have a slice of Domino's pizza served at CF Hercules for £2.50.
Hang on, do you hear Domino's pizza? Why are they going to save They got Domino's at their stadium.
That's actually not too bad.
Yeah, that's actually not too bad for the price as well. £2.50.
what, $2.50 for a slice of pizza? God, that's expensive, isn't it? You know, I mean, I used to work at. I remember when I worked at Team Valley, and I went on my lunch once, and this was about I'm going over 10 years ago now. Well, about 12 years ago now, and I went to the Papa John's in Team Valley. You know where the little shops are, and I think back then it was something like £2 for a slice of pizza, and I thought, I'm not paying that for me lunch. No, thank you. And I went into Marshall's Bakery next door and got a big sandwich for the same price.
Oh, we've got a new guest, Liam. Good evening.
Hi, all right?
All right, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm the display. I'm the user. About time.
Oh, nice one. Nice one.
I just thought I'd quickly join the first time, so I thought I may as well come on when he's doing the food review.
This is the next one we've got.
Pie, chips, and mushy peas.
A gravy served at North Ferriby for £5.
The pricing might be a bit too much.
That's not too bad, really, is it? I mean, it's.
Okay, well, when I make kitchen matches, that's what I get, and we probably beef and chips.
I've seen pies worse cooked than that, so I don't think that's too bad at all.
I would have around the mushy peas.
I would.
Oh, you gotta have mushy peas.
It's funny when Steve Rafe says that he used to put tomato sauce on his mushy peas, and Holly was like, "Oh, why are you putting mushy peas, tomato ketchup on mushy peas?"
Like my mum puts HP sauce on mushy peas.
What, brown sauce?
Brown sauce.
Ooh, that's rough, that way.
Yeah. Next one. Where are we up to? And we've got this one.
What on earth is that?
Garlic.
I've seen this today.
Right, that's a garlic and tomato sausage and scrambled tofu bap with hash browns. That is served at Brentford for £10.
They fucking keep it.
Oh, well, they can keep that. Tell you what looks like. Looks like, John. Peter, tell you what that looks like. Looks like them pots look like two eyes, and the bun looks like the nose.
Hey, wow.
I would just have the sausages and the hash brown. So I like my garlic stuff.
I wouldn't have any of it. They can keep it.
Everything's been deep fried.
Yeah, it looks like.
Pass.
I would have it. Just the sausage and the hash browns.
Right, yeah. Next one. Right, these are rolled potatoes with a spicy mayo that's served at the Man City women's game.
I was going to say that's the Man City.
Yeah, that's actually the Academy Stadium. What you can? There's a bit of a plug for FIFA. Like if you play FIFA 23 at Man City with Man City women, you can play at the Academy ground.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing FIFA.
Is there a price for them, Peter, or is it just
£2?
It's not too bad, I suppose.
Not
is
too
it?
bad.
I'll look at the go, see what they like.
Not considering how much Arsenal were charging for their prices last week in the women's game.
So yes, I heard they were charging well over the odds, weren't they?
£24 for cheeseburger and chips.
Jesus Christ.
24. Jesus.
Fucking hell.
Right, next one.
Hang on, you can book a Ryanair flight from Newcastle to Spain for £10.
Right, next one we've got 5 left actually. So this is the next one.
It's a bit funky, isn't it?
Sausages in a tortilla at.
It's got to be German.
It's at Ullevål Stadium when Norway were playing Serbia. That would cost £8 for that.
Jesus. Oh, well, that's Scandinavian prices, that's why.
Is the drink included or not?
Hot dog and a pancake.
It is. The drink is included there, actually.
That's actually all right, then, with the drink.
Yeah, but anyway, you go in Scandinavia, whether it be Sweden, Finland, Iceland, Norway, they're expensive as hell there.
Yeah,
I think in Sweden it's £7 a pint.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like for example, I think one country I think it's Denmark. Their currency obviously is the Danish krona, and obviously they want to use their own currency, but equal to the euro. Like 1 Danish krona is one euro. I think.
Yeah. So yes or no?
No,
Not
I
for me,
would
that.
like.
I
Looks
would.
fun.
I would have without the mustard.
Reminds of something I would have as a kid.
Yeah, like
Next
the
one.
fairgrounds.
This is the next one. I mean,
Oh my god!
Look at the
Why we
size
got-
of that sausage.
I mean, what sauce is that? Just 2 slices of bread?
That's not sauce.
Oh god!
Sausage is a bit bent as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh. I think that's enough from everyone. I'm guessing for that one.
Yeah.
Where did that serve that?
It's somewhere in it's somewhere in Czech Republic. That
Oh,
would cost
yeah.
me two. That would actually cost £2.50.
20.
I think I would actually like to try it, to be honest with you.
Yes, that's
Oh
20.
wow, brave!
That's
Apart from the
20
fact it looks like
crown-
King
that's
Kong's
20
finger.
crowns.
It looks
Isn't
like
it?
what?
King Kong's finger.
Peter,
Yeah.
isn't that 20 crowns, isn't it?
Some of that, yeah.
Yeah, Castle Italy as well.
Looks like a dildo.
I try to keep it PG.
It looks like a bull's penis.
Oh. Right, this is the next one. We've got 3 left.
I was saw this one the other day.
Steak and ale pie with mash.
Oh, that looks nice.
I was saw
Mashed
this one
peas
yesterday.
and gravy at Lou's FC.
I was saw that the
How
other day,
much?
Peter.
That would cost £6. Wow.
Do you know what? That's not too bad at all. I would eat that. Yeah, that's fine. That. Yeah.
I'll give it a blast.
That's-
Like.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think I want to pay that much, though, to be honest with you. I try and haggle them. Give me $4.50, mate.
Yeah. Right, next one. And this is one where if Gordon Ramsay saw that, he would say, "It's raw."
Oh god. Oh.
What on earth is that?
Right.
Bacon and
That-
potato.
That is supposed to be roast potatoes and sausages in a cornflour sauce served at Arbroath.
Oh no, not for me.
No.
Oh.
Oh, they can keep that.
Jesus Christ, well, I just looked at it. Oh my god. Oh,
That looks like something you get like in
Damn.
Russia, like the back streets of Russia.
that's fucking bad, that.
Looks like something my dog's just brought up.
Where's that from, Peter?
Arbroath.
Bloody hell, anyone else Scottish? Damn.
I mean, that just looks absolutely disgusting. That.
Oh, God.
I mean,
That is
the
lifted,
sauce,
like.
it looks like someone just snotted all over the sausages as well. Someone needed a big sneeze and just snotted all over them.
It looks like the BFG snot.
Oh, damn, that's bad.
What would you
It's
say
not
that?
worth it.
What would you say
No.
that's like, Tony?
Nah, not for me. That just looks vile, John. Sorry, Pete. That looks absolutely vile. It looks like a jellyfish has been splattered all over it.
Oh, that's bad, that. Oh, God. Oh, bro.
So no, it's a no from me.
Even the
That
roast potatoes
No.
don't even look like they've been roasted. They look like it's been
Looks like they've
boiled.
just been boiled. Yeah, they do, don't they? They look like they've been boiled, haven't they?
Then
Boiled
just
in
like
cold water.
then looks like they just took him in the pan with some oil. They say, "Crisp him a bit, it'd be fine."
That'll do.
Nah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
a
think
very pass.
that looks incredibly foul to me. And this is the last one. Smashed double cheeseburger served at Nottingham Forest.
Don't
that
need
costs
yes from
nine.
me.
I would have.
But it costs
How much?
£9 for that, though.
Eh?
9. Jesus.
I would have it, but not for that price. maybe £3.50 or something.
It's just you get no chips with that, just a burger.
Yeah. Call it a smash double cheeseburger.
No wonder they wasted with their money on all them players.
That's just
Yes.
awful, lot.
That's
No.
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 I'll give it a
What do you
blast.
think's
I
wrong with
like
it, Tony?
I like cheeseburgers, but no, not that.
Not for me. Not for me, Pete. No.
Too expensive, or does it just not look
Yeah, too
appetizing?
It doesn't even look appetizing either.
I'd rather go to Tim Hortons and get a chicken burger from Tim Hortons. You're
The best one on there
Canadian.
was that pie and mash in my eyes. That
Yeah.
steak
You
and
know
ale
that-
pie with the mash.
Yeah.
I'll have that. I'll have the steak pie.
Right then, and that concludes today's food pick. So let's rattle through the comments.
I've
and
got
see
one. I've got one for you.
What are you? You
A
got
food
one.
pick. This is the one I was on about Arsenal, by the way, and it's not £24. Sorry, it's £21.50.
I think I know which one it is. I think I might have had it on last week's show. You got it up for you?
That was at the women's game last week against Arsenal Tottenham.
Yeah. Yes. I think I had that one.
yeah, yeah.
Who would pay £21.50 for that?
I mean, it looks nice, but 21 quid.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
You put that price could feed a family up in the northeast for. You could get a meal for Asda for a family of 4 for less than
I
that price.
I could get a couple of meals at Burger King for that price.
Exactly.
It's absolutely disgusting, that, isn't it?
London, that's London prices for you.
I would have that without the price.
That's because it's at the women's game as well, isn't it? Because I had 47,000 fans there, didn't there? So
No, that's just a bit right. Well, let's rattle through these comments in. Shit and chips says I like coffee. Just a slice, yeah. I'm a kebab man. 1 pizza slice for 1 fan. I only meant there wasn't a Ferrari in sight. All right. Finally got around to watching the SBR documentary. Absolute gold piece of content. Oh, nice one. Pick 1, a bowel motion. I need that pizza, says White Trout. Someone threw up and took a picture. I thought Tony said he worked at Team Fanny. Pick 3 looks like it's been shook up before it was handed over, but looks eatable. Wow. I'll pay Brentford a tenner to keep that one. We are the most expensive country in Scandinavia, Norway. That's what Truth says. Where did they roll them? Where did they roll them from Aberdeen? Not by also. Is that Rising House? Is that hummus with the sausage and bread? Yeah, I think it was. That's a bit obscene. I thought this was a family show. The plating of that sausage, 2 bread slices and sauce is highly suspicious. Aye, this wins pie and mash. Looks like the contents of a sick bucket. Yeah. Something's leaking out that sausage's end. Some sort. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
I like how he's got a... That plate looks like unprocessed food that came back up. Looks like one lass's cooking.
Oh, Steph, I hope she's not at home when you're saying that. I hope you're in another room because she's a Liverpool fan.
I tapped that pie and mash, £6.2 bargain. The whole thing looks raw. Looks like pig's trotters. White Trout says, I take that burger, but 9 quid, but 9 squid, that's steep. At least Dick Turpin wore a mask. Oh, wow, Jesus Christ. Hey, well, that includes, as I mentioned, today's food picks. I wonder which ones we'll get next week. Right, second half of the show, we've got to talk about England again. I know we discussed this yesterday, Tony, but Southgate, you just want him out of the England manager position already now. I mean, coming off the back of a horrendous UEFA Nations League tournament.
Yeah, he's got to go now. I'm sorry. I mean, a lot of people might say, well, we've got 8 weeks to the World Cup, but that's 8 weeks. We could get another manager in, because by the time you get another manager in, then he can assess. Well, he'll know the players anyway, but then he can assess who he wants to bring into the squad, then he'll have that training camp with him.
Yeah.
You know, and if England are serious to want to win the World Cup, then Southgate's got to go now, simple as, and you've got to bring another manager in. Now, my pick for a manager, but it's whether we want to go down that road. Do we want an Argentinian in charge of England? That's the thing, you know. But I would say bring in Bielsa, because you might not have a defence, but he plays attacking football, and at least we'll see some attacking football for a change, instead of boring Southgate playing sideways, backwards, whatever he wants to play, with 5 at the back, you know. It is I highlighted the other night with when me and John did a show, the warm-up show, and that, you know, and John was quite surprised when I brought a few pictures up. But most squads that Southgate picks, they've all got at least 8 or 9 defenders in it, and there's more defenders than there is midfielders and attackers. So that shows you what Southgate's thinking, you know. But I think now Southgate actually soured his relationship more with Trent Alexander-Arnold now, because he said, which is nice for what he said about Trippier, by the way, but he says Trippier's all-round game is much better than what Trent Alexander-Arnold's is. Now,
very unprofessional.
That is bad, and if he's saying stuff like that, then 1, he's got to go, and 2, Alexander-Arnold might say, I don't give a shit if I don't play for England again.
I mean, Liam, do you think he should go if we are terrible in the World Cup?
Like Tony says, to be honest with you, it's 8 weeks. So let's say we don't get rid of him now, and then could we have the same conversation next week? So then it's only 7 weeks. So it's either now or never. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just getting closer and closer. If we don't get rid of him now, we've got to commit. But he's got to have a serious think about the players that he's had on show in the past few games, and whether or not they're, well, you know who I'm going to say, i.e. Maguire, whether or not they're capable to play for England. But I'll just want to say one thing about Southgate. He's been in the England setup now. He's been working with the FA for many years now, since probably. Did he have a job at Villa after Middlesbrough? I think he's been involved with England and FA for about 15 years, something like that, in the background. So I think, in my opinion, he's just a yes man for the FA. Like, it wouldn't look very good, would it, if Southgate was like, "Oh, tell you what, Maguire, you're playing shite. See you later." Like, he kind of drop him, because, in my opinion, I think he kind of drop him because he's the captain of the biggest club in the world, if you like, in some people's opinion. So I think it just looks bad for English football if the captain of Manchester United is getting dropped and someone like Mark Gurley or Gay from a lower opposition in the league is starting ahead of him, because that's what should be happening, in my opinion. Tomori and Mark Gurley should be the starting centre backs in the back 4.
Yep.
Reece James playing right back, although Trippier, I do love Trippier obviously, but I think Reece James just can get up and down the pitch faster.
I think Reece James has been terrible for England as well lately. I mean, I don't think he was any good in the Italy game.
But to be honest, none of our players have been good.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Rice has been poor for England. I think he's been poor for his club as well.
Yeah, I was being disappointed with Declan Rice. I thought this season he was going to really push on and try and prove his worth, and hopefully try and get a big move at the end of the season, or maybe he's in January. But if he carries on the way he's playing, he'll be at West Ham a couple more years.
Yeah, I mean, Lewis, what do you think? Southgate sees a Maguire that's making him picking him every time for England, because what we've just seen from him lately is just liability.
Like he's bent on the team coach going to games and that's probably why he's picking him. Because as Liam said, he's the captain of Man U.
But the fact is, Man United have had the balls to drop him.
Exactly, that's the problem. We're like, obviously for us, we want a couple of Newcastle players playing for England, because it'd be like going, look at us, we've got players playing for England and that. And obviously, everybody wants every English player, every English fan who supports a Premier League team and that wants or league or Championship League One, blah 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 blah. Like, always want their players to play for England. But I was thinking, obviously, with Maguire, he obviously is as he's just the captain for Man U, as literally one of the biggest clubs in the world. That's probably why he's getting picked for England.
I mean, that Tony, that penalty giveaway in the Germany game was just scandalous.
Yeah, I thought like obviously then we got the penalty. If that penalty for England should have been a red card in my eye. No offense to Germany. If you look, if you watch it again, his foot went over the ball and onto the ankle. Surely that's a red card.
It should have been. I think we was discussing that, Tony, as well. That could have been given as a red.
It should have been a red. Let's get a look instead. Red card.
I mean, again, Tony, he's been persistent with 5 at the back, all 3 central defenders in the past few games, hasn't he?
He has, Pete. It's just absolutely disgraceful, you know. I mean, he needs to stop with his back 3, and you know, and teams are seeing that, you know, and the players are not really got that much confidence. If you look at Harry Kane, how he's playing for Spurs, he's on fire. Mm-hmm. But when he's playing for England, he's having to drift out on the left wing, drift out on the right wing, because there's no actual position where he wants Harry Kane to play. But you know, the other night, that penalty, I mean, Schlotterbeck should have been sent off for that. That was the studs down the shin. Yeah. In my eyes, that was a red card. But I'll tell you the difference is between in these Nations League games and like when you watch World Cups and that. The thing is, the VAR works very well in these games. And the Premier League should watch these games and see how well VAR is working and say, right, okay, works well in that. We need to make sure we're making it work well. I mean, that referee was sent to that monitor twice to check penalties, the one for Germany and the one for us, you know. So, yeah, you know, I think VAR's been absolutely brilliant in this Nations League. But it shows up our Premier League how bad we are in VAR. Mm-hmm. But it just shows you how bad we actually are when we're not going to even have one VAR ref at the World Cup because FIFA have said they're not good enough. Now, if I was in charge of the referees like Mike Riley is, I would be embarrassed by that. I'd be thinking, shit, we're the best league in the world, the richest league in the world, and yet we can't get the refereeing right in VAR, and we're being told that by FIFA. But he's not bothered. But when Howard Webb comes in December, I think he'll do a full shake-up of the whole lot, the whole system, and I think we'll see improvements in it for what he's done in the MLS.
I think when Howard Webb comes in, I think you'll see a lot of foreign referees coming into play.
That's what we should be looking to do as
100%, 100%. There's no reason why Barry from York should be managing pretty Man U versus Arsenal. Like, if he's not capable, it's just a job for the boys. This is the Premier League, the best league in the world. Like, we should have the best officials. We should have the best everything. It's embarrassing. How many times now is it a referee? Every game, pretty much, there's something happening, like controversial with VAR or a referee. Whether it's a handball, whether it's a penalty, something's happening every game, and it's not good enough.
Like, for example, why? Sorry for putting in, Peter. Why not? You know, when they're talking to VAR, when they have checking decisions, or when they don't think, why they can't broadcast that to the fans who are watching on TV, or for example, Match of the Day, and we know what they're saying, because obviously when they're looking, we're going, okay, they're showing replays. There's no, obviously we don't know what they're talking about. Why not? It works in rugby with TMO. It works in cricket with whatever the bloody call it in cricket.
Yeah.
It works in ice hockey as well, because it works in National League football, and that when you can hear everything what's going on. Why not bring that in football?
You're right. They should do that, but I think why they don't. I think it'll just be too time consuming, to get everything correct. But if that's what it's going to take, then if that's going to stop the natural flow of the game, then it's costing teams points. Refereeing decisions, for example, look at the Palace game for us. We could have won 1-0, and I know we weren't good enough on the day, and an own goal shouldn't really be the winning goal. But 3 points lost, well, 2 points lost because of a poor refereeing decision. Now, so let's just say they took 5 more minutes or something, or a couple more minutes on the pitch that day and we could hear them, like what Lewis was saying, and we could hear, and you could kind of get understand their perspective and see why he made the decision, not just coming out 5 days later and saying, "Tell you what, lads, you were actually right, but I cannot reverse it now." So that result still stands. Sorry about that. That's just not good enough. Like, look what happened to Bournemouth. It gets teams relegated, and
It does.
It's just not good enough.
Yeah, like for this year, obviously, teams who were in the Premier League last season got relegated. Obviously, with VAR, could they technically use VAR in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup because it's already built into the stadium? Couldn't they?
Well, they could do.
Obviously, they can't use it in the Championship because it's not in the Championship.
Well, it's again introduced to the Championship very soon, though.
Well,
Not of this. We have shit the referees have been in the Premier League.
I know the SPL's getting it very soon.
Yeah, after the World Cup.
I mean, do you remember a few years ago when Swansea got relegated from the Premier League?
Yeah.
And then that first season they won the Championship, they played Man City in the FA Cup. Now, Man City won that game 3-2. And I think Aguero and Sterling had goals that were a bit dubious. Now, had VAR been in operation, they would have been cancelled out, which would have meant Swansea would have won that game 2-1. And I remember Shearer in the studio, and Lineker said, no VAR in operation because this is, it's because it's a Championship stadium. It's not a Premier League ground. Shearer went, well, what I want to say to that is last season Swansea were in the Premier League, so it was a Premier League stadium.
Yeah.
So so why is it any different because they're in the Championship? He says if it was a Premier League stadium last year, then they should be allowed to have it now in the FA Cup. Then you fast forward to this year, and if you watch the FA Cup, Nottingham Forest had it in that operation against Liverpool because that's what they wanted to do, have it in.
For example, obviously Swansea City is also a rugby ground. Even MK. Technically, could MK Dons use VAR because the ground is a rugby stadium as well?
Well, yeah, that's it.
That's the thing. If that's the case, then what about the MKs? No, not the MK. What about what's the team who has Home Bargains as a sponsor?
Oh, I can't remember who it.
But that stadium is a rugby stadium as well.
Yeah, it is. I was gonna, but go back to England, Liam. The fact is, one won a game in this UEFA Nations League would be relegated to the B division. I mean, that's given no one any confidence going into a World Cup. We're going to do anything. We might get past the group stages, but if we come up against like a Brazil or a France,
we're going to get spat. Sorry to interrupt there. Yeah, in my opinion, that's all down to what's the word? Complacency? Is that complacency?
Yeah. Something like that.
He's just what's the word? He's just for example, the other night, like Saka playing left wing back. What on earth, right? You've got left backs. You've took them off and then you brought a left back on.
I mean, right. I didn't get that.
If you're going to play that formation that needs a left wing back, start your left wing back, start your left back. Don't play a right winger in left wing back just because you can do a job there. It's not about that now. You're not playing Accrington Stanley in the 4th round of the FA Cup. You're playing for this. You're representing your country. You should be putting your strongest team out there every time. Well, obviously, sometimes I know that the teams are going to get the players are going to get rested. For example, like Harry Kane might not play against the smaller teams or whatever, and it might give someone like Rashford a chance or something like that. But you should be putting a strong team out, and players who play in the preferred positions. Like you can't just be saying like, oh, we'll put Saka left wing back because he's got a left foot. It doesn't work like that. Like if you want Saka to be effective, play him in his most effective position.
Yep.
Like Kyle Walker, for example, don't get us wrong. I think he played fantastic. The last World Cup in the back three, with the back five, and the right side of the back three. But Kyle Walker, ever since we played them and Maxi just skinned him, I think he just looked a different man. He really has. He looks like he's lost not even a yard or two of pace. It looks like he's lost quite a lot of pace, and that's only a matter of months. Last year, I was still saying he's been the best right back for the past decade in the Premier League, but now he just looks completely off. And relying on Kyle Walker's pace in that right centre back, in the right of the back three, it's just like I say, it's like you're getting complacent. You know, like you've got centre backs here. Why playing Kyle Walker in the right hand side of the back three? You've got centre backs that can play that position. Don't just play, well, he can't play there. He can do a job there. It's not about doing a job. You've got players there who can that is their job, not just like, oh well, he's all right there, you know. He can play there if we need him there to push. No, play someone else who's supposed to play there.
Not to mention the fact is he called up the likes of Tony, Ward-Prowse, Abraham, Tomori. He's never used them.
I would be really annoyed if I was Ivan Toney. I really would. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity to get called up to the national team. And the form he's been on, he could have at least brought him on. So Ivan Toney can you know, when he's older, tell his grandkids, I played for England. Because it might not happen again. Because let's be honest, we all know he's a big fan of Marcus Rashford. And the players that he plays in the centre forward sort of area is Rashford, Sterling, and Kane, obviously. With them three, I cannot see a chance where Ivan Toney gets on the plane now, because if Rashford comes fully fit, I just cannot see him taking Toney. And that could be Ivan Toney's England career over before it's even started. And it's just unprofessional, that's what it is. And especially his comments about Trent. Don't get us wrong, obviously, I want them to say, Kieran Trippier's the best right back in the world, unbelievable. But it's just unprofessional. You can say Kieran Trippier's good, but you don't need to dig over your other players and put your other players in the bin. You know, there's ways to do things, and Southgate at the minute, maybe he's feeling the pressure himself, but he's certainly not doing the right thing in certainly not speaking about these players the way you should be, in my opinion. If you could say them sort of things to the player himself behind closed doors, but you shouldn't be saying that in a conference. You know what I mean? To the media, knowing that's going to go out with the world. Like, what's the point? You're just putting the player's confidence down. Why are you doing that? Now Trent will probably think, well, I'm not playing for this prick again.
Yeah, it could well be. I mean, I don't think Trent's that good defensively. I think he's more suited as a right midfielder.
100%.
I mean, I don't rate his defender, but his attack style, I think it's very, very good.
He's one of the best crossers of the ball in the world, I think. I mean, when he retires, he'll have stats. He'll have stats to make you think that he was a centre attacking midfielder or something like that. The amount of assists he's already got now, and he chips in the goals. But what you're saying, he is weak defensively, or weaker than the other players we've got in the right back position. So, yeah, as an England manager, you shouldn't be coming out and saying that in a press conference, especially to the media, like I say. So good.
I mean, I can't believe it took Harry Maguire to apologise after the Germany game.
Harry Maguire, I watched an interview with him the day as well, and basically saying that he doesn't really listen to the background noise, and he's just so smug about himself. I don't really listen, but like he's like, I'm Manchester United captain. A captain doesn't need to remind everybody that he's captain. A captain leads by example. Like, Harry Maguire is not Manchester United captain. He might be on the books as being the captain, but he's not. He's not captain material. He's really not. Yeah, I feel sorry for Harry Maguire at the same time, because obviously everyone's turning against him. But at the same time, he's not really helping himself, he came out and he was defending. He came out and he would blame like the tactics and stuff like that, saying he had quicker people around him. Like, however, you're a Premier League player and you're so-called Man U's captain. You're making excuses. Do you think going back 20 years ago? Do you think the likes of sorry? Do you think the likes of Roy Keane would be saying, "Oh, well, I need legs next to us"? No, it wouldn't happen. He'd be taking responsibility for whatever happened on the pitch.
Yep.
And he'd be putting the work in there. He'd be grafting his arse off.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, again, and also we were discussing this yesterday, Tony, that Southgate said he would like to pick he wants to pick players on form, but he doesn't do that. He always has his favourites, as Maguire, and there's a few others in there who he has as his favourites, and he just doesn't want to drop them. He doesn't want to not include them. He just wants to include them every time because they're his buddies, and they're not good enough for that country.
Yeah, he does, and it's because, I mean, the thing is, you know, Tomori, right? So you look at Tomori, he's playing for AC Milan.
Syria?
One of the best centre halves in Syria last year, behind Bremer, who was defender of the year over there. Another player that we were linked with back in January. Now he can't get in the England team. You've got Mark Way, who plays for Palace. He's not a bad centre half. Why didn't you give them two a game against either Italy or against Germany? You know, try something different. I know he brought Stones back in the team as well, and dropped Walker. But if he'd give them two a chance, you know, Ivan Toney, he must be sitting there thinking, well, why have I not getting a chance of getting on? Brentford will probably be thinking, yes, he didn't play, so he's coming back to Brentford fit in case he got injured. You know, but he does not pick players on form that he says he would do. Back a few years ago, he said, I'll pick players who are on form. And I mean, left back, Luke Shaw got the goal on Monday night, but defenders, Matty Target, he's played all season, so why can't he get a game for England? Kel Walker-Peters of Southampton, another cracking left back, you know? Maybe Tottenham are looking at that and thinking, God, I wish we'd never got rid of him now. But he can't even get in the England team, you know? And he should be ahead of Luke Shaw, if I'm honest with you. It's just, you know, it's just absolutely woeful. And Maguire, well, Mr. Liability, that's what I call him. And
I think he should be sent off, personally, as well. Because his challenge was a bit reckless as well.
I don't think it was it wasn't a send-off as such, but I mean, I'll bring that challenge up now on the screen, but, you know, you can see it, yeah. You know, Muslera, who obviously turned England down to play for Germany. Now, he's obviously thought, if I get close to Maguire, he's not going to pull out of this, is he? And that's exactly what Maguire done. He fell for it. What he should have done was if he drew his leg away from him, that would never have been a penalty. But that's the inept defending from Harry Maguire. You know, it's classic Maguire, isn't it? You know, giving penalties away. But that's the thing. If he just pulled his leg out of the way, it would never have been a penalty. And obviously the referee didn't think it was. But then it went to VAR, and VAR said, no, you need to go and have a look at the monitor because it is a penalty. And, you know, his frailties are there to see. So why is this guy playing? Why? You know, I've got no defence for him whatsoever. Don't know what you think, Pete.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's just went totally downhill since he left Leicester City.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't get a game for them.
It's not an £80 million centre half, that's for sure.
No, absolutely not.
Colaccini was better than what he is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mike Williamson was.
Another player, Tony, we were discussing yesterday, Ward-Prowse, not given a chance. Quality on set pieces.
Yeah.
Trippier as well.
I mean, you know, you've got Reece James on set pieces. Reece James ain't very good on set pieces. But, you know, Ward-Prowse is deadly with free kicks, but never played. You know, kept out the squad on Monday. This is what I'm saying. This is why Southgate needs to go now, because he's not good enough. He got to a semi-final of the World Cup. We should have got to the final of that World Cup, to be honest with you, because we just did not cover ourselves in glory against Croatia. Trippier put the ball in the back of the net, got we're ahead after 5 minutes for that free kick. From then, everybody thought, whoa, hang on a minute, we're 1 up in 5 minutes, right? Now we're going to open up and we're going to bomb forward, we're going to score a couple of goals and see this through, get the final and play whoever in the World Cup final. Everybody was probably getting excited for a World Cup final. But the problem is, we didn't put our chances away in that first half. And then the second half, classic Southgate comes in. Boom. we sit back deep. We invite the opposition on. Oh, come and have a play in our half. Come and play in our half. And then what happens? They get the equaliser.
Yep.
And then the score, and then man, I think it was Perisic, wasn't it, in extra time?
Yeah.
Or was that in then? Yeah, and he scores the winner, you know, and it's like, you know, what's going on here? And so we lost that game, and then obviously we got hammered off Belgium in that third place playoff game. But I think by then the England players didn't care then. And then we got the final of the Euros again, 1-0 up within 3 minutes. Luke Shaw, fastest goal in the Euros final. You know, brilliant goal, took it well. And to be fair, that Italy side, while people were raving, oh, what a great side this Italy side is, I didn't think they were that great. I thought they were there for the taking. Again, we should have gone and attacked them more in that first half. And we should have been going to try and get that second goal. And again, second half, what do? Classic Southgate, sit back, come and play in our half, Italy, come on, come and play. What happens? They get an equaliser. We go to penalties and they win it on penalties. You know, and I think after then, really, Southgate should have walked. He should have said, look, okay, I've took England as far as I can go. Let somebody else take over and give them the chance. But no, not him. I'm going to carry on. And, you know, and we're still seeing the same old shit time after time after time. It's just defensive. If we take the lead in any games, we're inviting the opposition on. But to get beat off Hungary, not once, but twice in that Nations League, we got beat over there 1-0, and then we get hammered at Molineux 4-0, you know, and this is off a team ranked 40th in the world against a team ranked 3rd in the world. Absolutely embarrassing. He should have been gone after that game. But the FA still backed him, because I don't think the FA have got the balls to sack him.
No.
Because it would cost the FA money.
Because he's a yes man for the FA, that's why.
Why can't Prince William fire him? Because he's technically the head of the FA.
He's a helmet as well.
I mean, Lewis, the confidence isn't great. It's just not looking good. It looks very bleak, doesn't it? Fans are worried.
Like I said, like to me friends, just like me friends and family, if we get past the group stages, I think we get beat in the round of 32. But I think it's going to be tight for us to even get out the group stages.
Well, it could well be. I mean,
like it's obviously going to be like. Sorry, but I think it's going to be close between the US and England again out of the groups.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't beat Iran in the first game, I dread to think what would happen throughout the rest of the tournament.
I've already said between me and my mates, I don't think we're going to make it out of the group stage. I really don't. Can anyone here tell me England's strongest starting 11? What formation we should be playing?
Trippier should be playing. Trippier should be playing.
Hasn't got a clue.
No.
The public can see that, like everybody else can see that the players that he's playing should not be playing in the formation that he's playing, or whatever isn't working. So, is he just going to stick at it and stick at it and stick at it and stick at it, and then 10 games down the line we might fluke a win against someone like Brazil's in a friendly, and then it'll be unbelievable. Like, oh, it's class. I'm glad we stuck with it. No, we need to change now. We've got a World Cup coming up. But it shouldn't even be a matter of changing now, to be honest with you. We should be prepared now. We should be known. He should be known in his mind now, right? He should have a rough idea of what the starting 11 is going to be and how this tournament's going to not necessarily play out, but like he should have a rough idea of who's going to play and where they're going to play.
Yep.
But I don't think he does whatsoever. Hence the reason why I think they're calling the likes of Ivan Toney up and things like that, not even playing him. What's the point in that?
Yeah, exactly.
Could have played somebody else. He didn't need to call Ivan Toney up. He could have called another right back up. He's obsessed with them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Tony, I've seen comments from fans saying this next World Cup It could be either like the 2014 World Cup or Euro 2016, and we know how bad that was. Even though it wasn't Southgate, it was under Roy Hodgson.
Yeah, I mean, that 2014 World Cup was a shambles. We didn't even get out of the group. I mean, 1 point, and that was against Costa Rica. It's just, teams like that, you should be beating them. And if the German, and let's not, and I'm not going to mask this for any way whatsoever, let's not forget that German team we played on Monday, they're not a great German team.
No.
If we'd played the German team from 10 years ago, they would have steamrolled us in that game.
Yeah,
5-0.
Muller, who was playing in that team at the time for Germany. You had Muller still,
Neuer,
Schweinsteiger, Neuer,
Lahm,
Podolski, Klose.
Özil.
Yeah.
We would have got tortured. Marco Reus.
And remember what happened in the 2010 World Cup under Germany? We got steamrolled in that game as well.
And we got scammed by a goal as well. What was the goal?
But Germany just put us to... They just had us from the start of the game all the way right to the end.
Yeah.
I think if that goal had have stood against Germany when Lampard scored, because we were on the up at the we had the intensity at that time. If that goal had have been given, I believe we would have gone on and probably won that game because our tails were up and we were on a high. We had went 2 down. Matthew Upson pulled 1 back, and then obviously Lampard scored that goal, and he scored the goal that was never given. And I mean, how did nobody see that? Because everybody else saw it. You saw Neuer pull the ball back from behind the line, so he's pulling the ball back from well behind the line. How a linesman didn't even see that,
That's why.
But, I mean, after that game, all the officials got sacked, even the assessor, because there was an assessor in the stands. Yep. And they said, "Did you see it?" And he said, "No, I didn't see it."
And that's why goal line technology came in.
Yeah, it did, didn't
it? Feels like for the past 6 or is it however long Southgate's been in charge, like 6 years, something like that. Got to be surely something close to that. It feels like the whole time we've just been slowly, like the only analogy I can think of in my head, it's like the Grand National, it's like we're just constantly just running in a straight line, and every single time there's a hurdle, we're falling flat on the face by a hurdle. I mean, every time there's a tough opponent, i.e., well, I'll start off, look what happened, look what happened at the final, and then look what happened Croatia game, and even before that though, we only just scraped it through on penalties past Colombia. And I mean, come on.
Yeah. Colombia.
I mean, people could probably only name about 5 players. They're not a great team, Colombia. And we struggled against them. I think it's just a mentality thing with England. I feel like we're setting myself up for failure, really. And I can't see a big something horribly going wrong very soon.
I mean, Scotland game in the Euros last year, that was a poor one as well. Scotland were well up for more that than what England were.
Exactly.
Yeah. Billy Gilmore ran that show, didn't he?
Exactly, and that says something. No offense to Billy Gilmore, right? Because I think he's got talent, but at the minute I think he's very low on confidence, especially after that nasty loan to Norwich. But when someone like Billy Gilmore, who at times couldn't even get into the Norwich team, who were rock bottom of the league, is running rings around the likes of Rice, Phillips, like how's that making sense? Who wants it more? That's what it comes down to. Who wants it more? It's a mentality thing, 100%. And something's obviously lacking in our camp.
Yeah, because I found something out. But I don't know if it's true to every international body and that. But the England players do get paid for playing for England, but they have to give it to charity.
Couldn't get paid for playing for your country, really, in my opinion. But
yeah,
exactly. You should not get paid. You should how you represent the nation. You should not get paid to play for international.
Yeah, no problem, Tony. If you've got to go now, that's no problem. No.
Good night, Tony.
Yeah,
no problem there, Tony.
Cheers,
of course, Tony is part of John's channel, John Sinclair TV. So do check out John Sinclair TV on YouTube. Drop them a subscriber. They do really good stuff. John and Tony. So Thank you so much, Tony, and I'll catch you.
Yeah, cheers,
next
Pete,
now.
for having us on again. Yeah, no
No
worries.
problem.
See you
See you
later,
later,
lads.
Tony.
See you
See you
later.
later.
Watch what you're doing, Trot.
Just the three of us now.
But yeah, I'm just gonna rattle through just these comments because I'm really behind on them. Where I'm up to. Oh, there's another one before that. One before that. It shouldn't be played. It's corruption at the highest level. I mean, I don't get whites in Qatar, in my opinion. Nothing has beaten that leaky sausage. It could be worse, lads. At least it's not an Ian Barraclough in charge of your national team, or Ian Barraclough who's in charge and manager of Northern Ireland. Great show, lads. First time tuning in on your channel, and I'll be back to support you all. I'm very impressed with the show. Well done. Thank you very much. Hope you've subscribed as well. I hope you really have subscribed and you've definitely enjoyed the shows. I think the friendlies are still just that. They aren't bothered about it being a new league yet. Yeah. Sentiment aside, I give him a shot too. Who's going back to Tony. Blaming your teammates for poor results is definitely not captain material. Nah, because he's not put the blame on himself as well.
Exactly.
I will stick your show on our website under links with other podcasts. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. Bad Blood Podcast says, what do you make of the Garang
Cool.
Quail? I think he looks really talented.
I'm not going to lie. I've only seen Instagram videos and YouTube videos, so I'm not going to comment on him. I'll just hope I'll see
Is
the
this,
club knows what
is
they're
this the
doing.
Australian kid?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Apparently, a deal has been agreed.
I haven't seen him yet, but I heard some. I might. Hang on. Like, I'm just taking a picture of the name. And then I can put it on and have a look at YouTube later on. 1 second.
I've seen it. He looks good, but we need to see him in a black and white shirt as well. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he could be loaned to a European club as well if we do make this signing. But I hear it's a close deal that's going very, very close as well. So,
Like, would he need a fee to pay for us?
pardon, sorry?
Would he need a visa? Because the thing is, I heard the thing because obviously with the Commonwealth, does he have a person come from Australia to the UK that don't need a visa?
You might have a point there. I didn't think of that.
Because obviously, we're trying to keep the Commonwealth together and that.
Yeah, I like how he says.
Sorry to be a bit. Sorry to pick on politics there, but it's like when you have to.
It could make the deal a lot easier, though, couldn't it?
Good.
Yeah.
Garang Quayle is the Mbappe we're meant to sign. Hopefully, you're right there because it would be great to have someone like him in our side. Definitely. I've got about 3 minutes left of the show, guys, and what we're going to do very soon is get predictions for the Fulham game on Saturday. Where we are going to be expecting a tough game, but hopefully we can start bounce back. Hopefully we are recharged after the international break. We've got some players
injured?
Around. He could well be
I think.
touch and go. I
can see him starting, though, to be honest.
If he's fit, he's starting for Fulham, no doubt about that.
He'll be wanting to. He'll be dying to start.
If he had a broken toe, I'll be fine to play.
Bad Blood Podcast says he's class. He ran rings around Madrid, and I believe we have beat them to the signing of him. Well, that'll be great. Mitro injured, and I think Palini is suspended, apparently.
Ooh.
I didn't realise Palini was suspended.
Hang on, I'm just going.
Is he suspended because of too many yellow cards?
I'm just going to check.
Pondi said he will start. That's if Mitrovic is fully fit.
Injured. Oh,
he's been wicked for them, that Palini.
As football says, not a sponsor. Mitro's foot injury, doubtful. Then obviously, Fila is suspended.
That's good news for us.
He's suspended, Fulham. Wow.
And obviously, when you hear this, Isaac's out injured to early October. St. Maximin's doubtful. Bruno's doubtful. Wilson's doubtful. Woods got a broken rib.
I think Wilson and Bruno are in there.
I think
Allison, Elliot Anderson's injured, and Kraft's injured.
Well, Kraft's injured, plus he's not on the 25-man squad for this half of the season.
But obviously, then I didn't realise Darlow had a broken ankle.
Well, it's an injury he did pick up. Just where up to when we come. I don't know how, but I think we'll 2-1. We'd do it. Fair play. I went for 2-1 as well. So great to meet you all. 3-1 win. How are the lads? Says Sefton Mag. Hope you're right. I mean, we've got a chance. I mean, we've got to start turning these draws into wins now at some point.
100%. Let's hope on the weekend we get the run of the luck and we'll get the 3 points. I think I didn't realise that Polino was suspended, so that will have an impact on my prediction. To be honest with you,
I mean, if both of them aren't available,
complete different team, isn't it?
That's a massive loss for Fulham.
Really is.
I like Covey scored 2-0 win. EIEI up the Premier League. We go, so he's starting the chance off. Right, we've come to the end of the show, so we'll get the predictions in. Starting with you, Liam. Score prediction: Fulham against Newcastle. Who's getting the goals?
I'm just gonna go out there and say 3-1, and I'm gonna say go for a Trippier goal. I'll go for a Matt Target goal as well because he's 2-1.
Oh wow!
Like Liam, before you go, I recognise your face for some reason. Did you used to work for Newcastle Fans TV or something?
No. I've got a YouTube channel myself called It's About Time, and I've uploaded a few videos on that. You might recognise it off there, but I don't really upload it anymore. I wasn't really happy with the videos, but I will be uploading it again, And you
but
might
obviously, because your face looks familiar for some reason, but I don't know why.
I've been on
I know I'm subscribed definitely.
I've been on the Tune Review ages ago. You might recognise it off there, and I've been on John's channel ages ago.
Probably.
So who's getting another goal for Newcastle, Liam? You've said 3-1.
Let's just say, in a perfect world, Anderson's not injured, and he comes on and he bags the winner. And for Fulham, I'm gonna say just a random name, Adebayo.
Fair play. Well,
head out the back post.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Liam, and hopefully we'll see you on again. No problem. So check out It's About Time on YouTube. It's About Time on YouTube.
Thank you very much.
So hopefully drop Liam a subscribe. I actually really appreciate that. Thanks, Liam.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Next show.
Good night.
Bye.
Yep. Okay, Lewis.
Jesus Christ, I don't know. It's like we see this every single time now. We don't know because obviously I'm going to go big.
Ooh, go on then.
4-1.
Oh wow! You're feeling very optimistic there, Lewis. Goal scorers.
Anybody, just anybody. I don't care.
Anybody. Oh, come on, anybody.
Wilson, if he's fit, why not?
Okay.
Then Elliot, if he's fit, because why not? Then Dan Burn, why not?
Oh wow, you're just predicting anyone random there, Lewis.
And if let's say it's and why not? If there's a corner and we're winning, why not Pope a goal?
Yeah, I like how he's going for a Nick Pope hat-trick. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh well, thank you so much, Lewis, and hopefully we'll see you again next.
Yeah, I try. At least you were on a Thursday because obviously on a Friday I'm a bit busy. When I literally get in from where I do, I literally have me tea, then come on. That's the thing what I do.
Yeah.
Right.
See you, Lewis.
See you. Good night.
See you, Lewis. Good night. Well, guys, that is it for tonight. So we are going to wrap it up there. It's been another great show. Again, do keep an eye out for the live watch along as well, which will start about half an hour before kickoff, and hopefully John will be joining me for that as well. So do keep an eye out for that coming. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tonight. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I shall see you all later. Take care until the Fulham watch along. Sefton says all the best PD in the show. Just quickly read through that one. So again, guys, see you all later. Take care and good night.